Associated Press, and I'm looking at it right now in front of me with my coffee in hand. The proposal would leave intact the existing rules on 401k retirement accounts and the ability of Americans to contribute up to $18,000 into the accounts tax-free. But the plan limits the widely used deduction for mortgage interest for newly purchased homes of up to $500,000, a sharp reduction from the current $1 million cap. Now, the plan also limits the deductibility of local property taxes to $10,000 while eliminating the deduction for state income taxes, which generated significant opposition from Republicans in high tax states such as New York and New Jersey. I view the elimination of the deduction as a geographic redistribution of wealth, picking winners and losers. Who says this? Representative Z. Zeldin of New York, who represents Eastern Long Island. By the way, Lee Zeldin is a Republican. The child tax credit would be increased from $1,000 to $1,600 through the $4,050 per child exemption would be repealed. And the legislation is a long-standing goal for Capitol Hill Republicans who see a once-in-a-generation opportunity to clean up an inefficient loophole, cluttered tax code, but there is lingering opposition from Northeastern Republicans fearful of losing a cherished deduction for state and local taxes and anxiety, as they're calling it, among other rank-and-file lawmakers over emerging details. Influential conservatives Representative Mark Meadows of North Carolina dismissed proposed retirement changes as a non-starter. I think that's what most of the middle-class America uses as their nest egg. The plan shrinks the number of tax brackets from 7 to 3 or 4 with respectable tax rates of 12% to 25%, 35%, and a category still to be determined. So the tax system would be simplified, and most people would be able to file their returns, as the Republicans have been touting for a while here, on this postcard-size form. The plan calls for nearly doubling the standard deduction used by most average Americans to $12,000 for individual and $24,000 for families, and increasing the per-child tax credit on net. It could mean tax increases for many upper-middle-class families. The plan smashes the corporate tax rate from 35% to 20%, a demand pretty much of Donald Trump, and it also repeals the inheritance taxes on multi-million-dollar estates, a big break for the wealthy. I hear the left screaming because I told you they're going to do it for the wealthy, and my thought is, and my thinking on this particular thing is, the wealthy are the ones that actually employ people, make jobs, create jobs, the jobs that actually pay the taxes. There should be incentives. They still pay taxes. It's not tax-free. But if they're improving this country, if they're employing people that are paying their taxes, and these companies, these corporations, they employ tens of thousands of people, in some places 100,000 people, depending on what the size of the companies and what they do. It's good for this country. It's good for our economy. I'm not a hater on this. And by the way, just be reminded, who in the world do you think funds the DNC? Where do you think they get their money? Who do you think they ask for? Poor people? Oh, they ask for poor people's donations, whatever they can get. What do you think the real money comes from? Corporate America. You don't think that they're going to give them tax breaks? You don't think they're going to give them some kind of kickbacks? What do you think? If it suits them, fine. But if it suits the Republicans, those evil Republicans, you don't need money, then stop spending money. And by the way, Hillary Clinton and everybody to the left, write your big checks to the Salvation Army, and why don't you just deplete your bank accounts if it's not important? It's usually most people that throw this off will never, ever mention these factoids, if you will, that type of reality. And if you mention it to it, it's kind of like the left will have their eyes crossed, and they never come back. They're always cross-eyed. They just don't know how to answer that, and they won't answer it. They refuse to answer it because they know that you're right, and they can't stand it. Some people are just that way. You might know somebody that way. But what I have found when that happens, when you're talking to some of your liberal pals, just let them go. Let them speak until they exhaust themselves. And then just say, look, I'm tired. I got to go. Because you're never going to win until they say that they're open-minded. They want to hear where you're coming from, but they really don't. Because it's a completely different ideology. Capitalism, socialism, they're opposed. And believe it or not, a lot of the left, the more that I really get into the minds of liberals, they're more socialistic in their approach. And I think a lot of them truly would actually love to be under the regime of Kim Jong-un. Let Daddy Kim take care of you. You know, go over there, get a good job, help the North Koreans achieve their victories in space programs, or cleaning the buildings, or doing some bookkeeping for Kim. They would be a lot happier there. Seriously. It's always a double standard with the left, no matter what it is. And then they'll say, oh, well, I'm not saying that. I never said that. And I'm like, but I can kind of read between all the lines here, and I don't even have to be a licensed psychologist or psychiatrist. I don't need to be those things. It's just obvious. You can hear it. It's there. By the way, there is a singer when we come back. I don't think I've heard any of her songs, but this is just kind of an interesting dynamic, I guess, of what's happening in entertainment. But I'm not shocked, not surprised, nor will you. But talking about going backwards, it looks like this singer wants you to be going on the back of the bus, too. But it's not for who you think it is. Ladies and gentlemen, we've talked about the coffee cup, and we still have the coffee cups available, ready to ship right now, just in time for Thanksgiving. If you order it now, you'll get it just in time for the holidays, and you can order as many as you want. You can 2 to 4 to 6, give them to friends, turn them on to the radio show. It's $20, $3.99 shipping and handling, and it's got the red, white, and blue logo for the people with Keith Allen on there, and they are sharp. I've got a letter in from Gregory. Gregory listens to St. Louis. He thinks he's listening on a radio station. Are we on in St. Louis? They might be on the internet. If somebody's carrying us in St. Louis, we need to know what the call letters are. Says, love the cup. Drink it every morning on my way to work. So he must take it in his car. Well, thank you very much. But listening to radio station in St. Louis, he doesn't have the call letters. Well, we do have a podcast and For the People show. Maybe he thinks because it's on his radio via Bluetooth, but who knows? We'll look into that and find out. If we're on in St. Louis, we want to know about it. We do have Poplar Bluff on, which we love that radio station in Missouri as well. KLID. We'll be back right after this with more For the People right after this.
It's unlike anything you've ever been through in your life, man. I was driving. This kid threw a grenade at us and went right over our vehicle. It was 12 years old.
The shockwave went through my head, rattled up my brain, and left.
Danger is around you 360 degrees at all times, and you can't unlearn that.
It's impossible to describe the sacrifices these men and women have made to protect our freedoms. And the job of rebuilding their lives is massive and growing every day. Many will need the programs offered by the Wounded Warrior Project for years to come.
I didn't know what PTSD was. All I knew is I was having nightmares. And when I got released, my reintegration was go check in at the VA, man.
My first coping mechanism was use drugs. Just numb it, don't feel anything.
I was angry. I'm trying to pull myself out of that right now.
Your gift today of $19 per month will honor and empower these veterans so they can aid and assist each other.
The Wounded Warrior Project is a life raft.
I can say this without question that I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for it.
Wounded Warrior Project is the first step, getting back out into the world and reforming yourself outside of the service.
Call or go online with a pledge of $19 a month. You'll receive this Wounded Warrior Project blanket, and your gift will provide critically needed programs that rebuild lives.
That was my first feeling of actually being a part of something bigger than myself again.
Well, I lost a few really close friends overseas, and if I quit, I'm going to let them down, and I'm not about to do that.
I'm learning to face my fears head on. To trust and see what happens at the end.
It's a long process, but I had the drive and desire.
Please, call or go online with your gift right now.
For the people is there.
Your American heritage. Black crows cawed in the ice-encased trees of Valley Forge. Washington's troops, many without shoes, huddled against the bitter December wind inside their flimsy huts. Despair hung like the winter ground fog. Had it been all for naught? Then came the Prussian drill master, Baron von Steuben, who strutted among the American troops and with an interpreter translating his swear words, whipped the disheartened men into a renewed fighting force. Dunderheads, he called them. And during that awful Valley Forge winter, he built that American army into a fighting force that would cut off the tail and pluck the claws of the British lion. This has been Don Keyes with a thumbnail sketch of Valley Forge, an icy chapter in Your American Heritage.
Your American Heritage can be heard Monday through Friday right here, courtesy of For the People.
Introducing the official For the People coffee mug featuring the colorful red, white, and blue For the People logo with Keith Allen on a ceramic 11-ounce coffee mug, perfect for any hot beverage of your choice. This mug is a great reminder of what we stand for: God, country, and family, with conservative values and good old-fashioned common sense. To order your For the People coffee mug, pay just $20 plus $3.99 shipping and handling at forthepeopleshow.com. That's forthepeopleshow.com. And enjoy.
With all the choices out there to enjoy some entertainment, wouldn't it just be nice to have something that didn't cost an arm or a leg? I found something that does just that. It's called 123 Ready TV. It's one of the most remarkable apps available to start watching all of those movies and TV shows for one incredible price, just $19.99. And that's a one-time only price. Recap: all your movies, current and classic, and sports and news, and so much more. So cut the cable and stop spending money at the movies when you can truly have it all at your fingertips. No commercials, just all the entertainment you desire. 123 Ready TV is available for Windows and all Android devices. Get your 123 Ready TV for just $19.99 at forthepeopleshow.com. That's forthepeopleshow.com. Just click on the store page to get yours now and start enjoying entertainment the way it was supposed to be. Fun. And For the People continues. Yeah, I wanted to play the coffee mug commercial on top of the other one. No, that wasn't intentional, but Paul Ryan, he got me all flustered here because he's talking right now about the tax bill.
That $1,182 more, it can help you pay down your debt faster. It can help you start and renovate your home faster. That $1,182 more for the average family, that will help you put more money away for college. It will help you save for retirement. It will help you save for a rainy day. With this plan, we are getting rid of loopholes for special interests, and we are leveling the playing field. We're making things so simple. We're making things so simple that you can do your taxes on a form the size of a postcard. With this plan, we are making pro-growth reforms so that, yes, America can compete with the rest of the world. But we're also making it so that families like these that are here can have more take-home pay. This is it. This is a very important and special moment for our country, for all Americans. Are we going to let the defenders of the status quo win and see our country continue down this downward spiral? Or are we going to realize the promise of our country? Are we going to revitalize the American idea? This is our chance to make sure that generations to come don't just get by, they get ahead in this country. Let me turn this over to the person who has led this effort. I am so proud of this man and this committee.